Hey, good morning. Oops, sorry. Day 318. Hopefully I'm on the right page here. I read the whole book of Titus today. Maybe you're tracking with me. If not, that's fine. It's a short book. I've titled today, How to Stay in Alignment. That is what they are trying to figure out. They have this new way of living called The Way, which is the main theme or the guidepost of living in harmony together in a community is love. Knowing people being grounded in the fact and knowing that they are loved, they have grace from God, which allows them to give grace to others and love others well. But they have to have some guidelines. They have to have some, they've sort of made an outline of like, if you're really believing this and living from this heart position, this is the evidence. So it's not the same thing as rules and like, do this or that. It is, this is how we will know what your heart is and if you're committed to living in the way, because we're humans and our hearts can be fickle and prickled. We can get pricked easily by others and our ego will jump right back in. So it's not like you receive the message of grace and love. I mean, we need the message of grace because we are human. We're not perfect. We're not going to, even the most loving, amazing Christians, they're still human at the end of the day. And the ego does what it does. And so how do we keep ourselves in check? Well, and stay in alignment with our beliefs? Well, they went through and just sort of looked at patterns of behavior that people that live in the way and really believe it, and then they'll do it. But you've sometimes got to do it first and then you'll believe it. So it's a feedback loop. Humans need feedback loops. And so they've kind of established what that feedback loop is on how to live in alignment with their new way, their principles, the way of love, and getting along with each other without having to revert back to structures like the Jewish faith and rules and all of that. So that's what they've done. Nobody needs to be drinking too much. Like drinking never helps a human think better or act better. You will treat each other with kindness. You will love each other. You will teach and guide those that are younger than you. You will raise your families in the way. Like, there's all of these like sort of guidelines and evidence. But then they also round it off by saying, you give people 1 strike, 2 strikes, and 3, they're out. Like, you let them go their own way. And if they change their hearts, maybe we'll welcome them back. But we can't allow, they can love people, but they kick them out. Like, you are not going to come in and mess with our community here and be a disruptor. On an ongoing basis. So they have a 3 strikes rule. Wonder if that's where that originally even came from. Like, 1 time we can forgive, it's a mistake, an oversight. 2 times, I don't know. We're really skating on thin ice there. 3rd time, it's a pattern. And so that's kind of something that we have to be careful of even internally. Y'all, I want you to look at this. It's so pretty. Like, pay attention. When you're doing things multiple times, are you developing new patterns and getting off of the way? Like having red flags for yourself. and going, ooh, I'm getting, and constantly, in order to live in the way of harmony, having internal peace and harmony, love, it has to be clearly outlined. You have to really take inventory, do what they did, look at the list and evidence of behavior, and even results that you'll have in your life, so that then you'll know, ooh, I'm off track here. Better snap back into place. And if you keep having discord in certain relationships, it's okay. It's not only okay, but it is like you need to step away from some people. You don't let people keep poisoning your mind. Humans are so vulnerable. And when we allow people and behavior in our lives that's not in alignment with our own, on a consistent basis, and they've shown us who they are, like, forgive them once, forgive them twice, but third, like, come on, you got be smart, get smart, and say, I love you, but you need to go over there. I will love you, but you cannot be in my life, because I understand how my human mind and human self works. And I'm not only sending myself mixed messages, but I'm exposing my own way and my own soul up to corruption. Got to have strong, healthy boundaries and guidelines, which means you've got to be living consciously. Keep coming back to that point. You got to live consciously, intentionally, know who you are, know how you're supposed to live, how you want to live, and get stuff in alignment. And I know that may be painful. There may be people you love very much that are not healthy to have in your life. But it's okay. And it's a lot of us and this is, I guess I'm kind of noticing this because this is a new way of thinking for me. I'm such an understanding, kind, loving person. I want to believe the best in people. That's actually one of the things I'm trying to overcome, is ignoring the red flags and then keeping people in my life they've shown me who they are. And then I wonder why I have some trouble in my life, because I'm not believing people who they are. I'm believing who I know they could be, but not who they are. And that feels, in my ego, like very unloving, very unkind. So that was one thing I picked up on this morning. Oftentimes when you read the Bible, you get the message that you need to get. So the book of Titus is filled with a lot of very practical how to live life in an aligned way, teaching and messaging. So if you're feeling a little bit out of alignment or a lot out of alignment, read the book of Titus. It might help you too. All right, have a great day. Rise and shine.